Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. As you may know, Google doesn't officially exist in the UE, so I got my hands on this 45mm Pixel Watch 3, but unfortunately it doesn't come with the box, which didn't allow me to give you an unboxing experience. But I bought it for $286 rather than the official price of $399, which is not bad. So let me show you the first 45mm Pixel Watch ever and compare it with the Pixel Watch 2 to give you a clear idea about the differences, and I will start with the design and build quality. Right off the bat, it looks and feels massive when compared to the previous model, which I didn't expect. As per Google, it has 40% more screen than its predecessor, not only because of the bigger case, but also the slimmer bezels, which you will immediately notice if you used to daily drive the Pixel Watch 2. The band is a little bit wider and taller as well, so you won't be able to use your previous ones unless you opt for the smaller size Pixel Watch 3, which uses the same bands of last year. In contrast, there are more similarities than differences between the two. Both have the same 12.3mm thickness, the dated Gorilla Glass 5 rather than Sapphire Crystal to be on par with the competition. They share the same design, build quality, buttons, cutouts, IP68 rating, and the detachable strap mechanism. Even the Watch 2 charger works absolutely fine with the newer model, so the only real difference here is in the size. In my testing, it significantly improves the visual experience when reading notifications, with much easier typing for quick replies from your wrist. Other than this, there isn't much to talk about here, so let's move on to the most improved aspect, which is the display. Beside the massive difference in size, there are two key improvements. The first one is the brightness, which is doubled this year to reach 2000 nits peak under direct sunlight. You can clearly see the difference in this side-by-side comparison, and it got the same Actua branding as the Pixel phones, which refers to high brightness. Not only this, but the new display can go as low as 1 nit, which is needed in complete darkness situations. I'm not sure about the lowest brightness of the previous model, but here's how they look side by side in a dark room, and the difference is very noticeable. The second improvement is the LTPO support, so it has a variable refresh rate that maxes out at 60 Hz and go as low as 1 Hz with the always-on display, which is expected to save you some battery if you prefer to use this feature. When it comes to the resolution, it's slightly higher, but you will end up with the same 320 pixels per inch because of the bigger size. Overall, the Pixel Watch 3 has the brightness and refresh rate needed for every situation. I have to give Google the credit for providing high-quality displays in all of its products for the past 4 years, so I have zero complaints here. Moving to the performance, both use the same Qualcomm 5100 chipset. In this mini speed test, opening apps on the Pixel Watch 3 was sometimes faster, while other times it was slower than the previous model, which is weird. Maybe it needs more software optimizations or time to settle things down. When it comes to the RAM and internal storage, they are the same 2GB and 32GB respectively in both models. Overall, the Pixel Watch 3 is responsive, but don't expect any performance gain over its predecessor, which is not bad in the first place. For the battery, I didn't have enough time to give you a detailed answer as I got it yesterday, but on paper the 45mm size has a 420 mAh battery, which is 35% bigger than the 306 of last year. In my initial observations, the Watch 3 was at 52% versus 39% on the previous model after using both exactly the same way for the past 13 hours, which is almost a 13% difference. When it comes to the charging speed, it's faster, but because of the bigger battery, it takes 5 minutes more than the previous model to reach 80%, while the smaller Pixel Watch 3 takes only 30 minutes, which is a 20% improvement when the battery capacity is the same. Moving to the haptics, it feels exactly the same as the Pixel Watch 2, which I didn't expect to improve as it's already pretty good. But what I wish Google gave an extra attention to is the speaker. It sounds better than the previous model, but is still distorted and not loud enough to clearly hear phone calls outdoors. So let's take a listen.
مرحبا بك في دور. عميلنا العزيز، قد قمنا مؤخرا باستحداث نظام الرد الآلي المرئي الجديد، وهو تجربة فريدة سهلة مع العديد من الخدمات الذاتية، بالإضافة إلى خيار التحدث إلى موظف خدمة العملاء للاستمتاع بتجربة النظام الجديد. انصت واحد.
The mic also improved to give a clearer voice and a slightly better noise cancellation, so here's a quick comparison in phone calls.
Here's how the mic sounds from the Pixel Watch 2 in a noisy environment in phone calls. Sound check 1 2 3. Sound check 1 2 3. Here's how the mic of the Pixel Watch 3 sounds in phone calls in a noisy environment. Sound check 1 2 3. Sound check 1 2 3.
But what I really liked about the Pixel Watch 3 is the ultra-wideband support, which enables two new cool features. The first one is the instant phone unlock without the need to touch the screen of your watch. It's very useful in situations where the phone is placed in a way that makes the face unlock and the fingerprint less convenient to use. All you need to do is to swipe up on your lock screen while having the watch unlocked on your wrist to get immediate access to your phone, plus it gives you a notification to lock the phone wirelessly just in case it got unlocked by accident. Secondly, you can use it as a digital car key with the supported vehicles from BMW and many, with more coming in the future. And we might also see Google's Find My Network support in future updates, which will allow you to locate, erase, or lock your watch remotely even when it's offline. The last two changes on the hardware side are the newer Bluetooth 5.3 versus 5.0 and the new matte hazel color, which I like the most, and it will match your Hazel Pixel 9 Pro in case you own one. Overall, on the hardware side, the improvements to the display, the size, and the ultra-wideband support are great additions, but I wish it had a better glass than Gorilla Glass 5, some performance boost, and a better speaker. Moving to the software, that's where Google tried to widen the gap between the two models by intentionally making some software features exclusive to the newer model, which I believe can work absolutely fine on the previous one. Starting with the fitness, the watch can now give you a readiness score for exercising by analyzing your resting heart rate, HRV, and recent sleep. The cardio load that measures the effort exerted in workouts and tracks the trends to see if you are under or overtraining. And both of these features have a new tile that you can add to your list for quick access. Then the target load, which is a personalized target for your training, taking into account your recent cardio load and readiness, guiding you to improve your fitness while balancing recovery. I didn't have the chance to test these features as the watch is still analyzing my data, and it says here that it takes up to 7 days to finish, so let's wait and see. You also get a morning brief that consolidates all your health data into a quick summary every morning, in addition to telling you if your HRV, blood oxygen level, and skin temperature are out of your personal range. And for runners, there are tons of new features here, like the new matrix that measure the cadence of your steps, ground contact time, the length and height of strides, and based on this information, the watch will give you real-time guidance while running with audio and haptic feedback on when to cool down or take your next interval, and if you are off pace. Runners can also build their own workouts by customizing warm-ups and cool-down periods, add intervals, and set goals for distance, time, energy burned, time trial, and open run. Lastly, they added one extra safety feature called loss of pulse. In case the watch detected any loss of pulse, it will automatically call emergency services, share an automated message along with your location to get help as soon as possible, which is a lifesaver. So these are the health features you get with the Pixel Watch 3. The best part is all these features are available free of charge without the need to pay for Fitbit Premium, which was one of the complaints about the Pixel Watch 2 of last year. But beside the health, Google added some quality of life features that enhance the overall experience, so let's go through them one by one. The first two features I'm going to show you are related to the Google Home app. The first one is the ability to control your Google TV from your wrist, and here's my Chromecast with Google TV. If you want to turn on the device, you can simply tap on the tile, and when you tap and hold, it will give you two options, one to control media and one to get the navigation remote. So for example, when I tap on remote, here I have a joystick to move in all directions like this, but it doesn't support the swiping. You have to tap on the actual arrow, and then you have a button in the middle to action the request. Then you have a quick shortcut for the home and the back buttons. After that, if you are playing media, you can play and pause, move next or backward, and that's pretty much it. But I had two issues with this new feature. The first one is the inconvenient way to navigate the Google TV. I found myself looking at the screen all the time to see where my finger is landing while using the arrows, but I think if Google replaced it with a D-pad that requires the swiping, it will be much easier to use with the watch. The second problem is the delayed response. Sometimes when I tap on the button, it takes 1 second more to reflect on the TV, and it happens 90% of the time. The second feature is the ability to see a live stream from your Nest camera or doorbell, in addition to sending voice messages to the other person using the microphone, which is a really cool feature. Unfortunately, I don't have a Nest camera or a doorbell to show you how it works in real life, but you can see the supported devices now on the screen. Google also updated the camera app interface on all models, and you can see the same design on the Pixel Watch 2 and Watch 3, but there is one exclusive feature you only get on the newer model, which is the ability to take astro photos from your wrist. And when I activate the astro mode, it will automatically set the camera timer to 5 seconds and give you the same new animation I showed you in Gcam version 9.5. And here's how it looks in action. Another feature I really liked in the Pixel Watch 3 is the ability to convert your app list into a grid view, which will save you a lot of scrolling because each row contains 3 different apps instead of only one like before. Plus, it looks much better and bigger than the previous design. Next, the Google Recorder app is now supported on the Pixel Watch 3, plus it got its own tile to start your recording right away. And as you see here, you have the ability to pause, cancel the recording, and once you save it, it will automatically synchronize to your phone to be able to locate it, and it will also be transcribed. If you want to go to the recordings, you have the ability to play them back on the watch speaker. Plus, you have the ability to adjust the playback speed like this. You have plus or minus, and then you can delete the recording if you want. Google also added 2 new call assist features. The first one is call screening that we first saw with the Pixel 6, which can screen your spam calls before answering them. And the second one is the ability to ask the other person to hold for you until you move to a quiet place. But unfortunately, those 2 features are only exclusive to the US for now. We also got some new watch faces. The first category is called active, and these are the designs. Each watch face will give you up to 9 different complications to add, which is a massive number. And here are all the complications with 2 different styles to choose from. The second new category is called field, and here are the designs that you can choose from. And lastly, the track watch faces got new designs with more complications when compared to the previous model. The Pixel Watch 3 now uses AI to automatically activate the bedtime mode, and when you tap and hold on the sleep tile, scroll all the way down, you will see a new toggle called Auto Bedtime, which will automatically turn off the always on display and silence your notifications without impacting your sleep tracking. The next feature is called Connected Fitness, which will allow you to connect your watch to third-party devices to get a live stream for your heart rate. And it says here, connect to compatible exercise machines and apps to see real-time heart rate on display. See user manual to learn more about equipment compatibility. To connect to other devices, you need to tap on this button, which will make your Pixel Watch visible for pairing, and you are good to go, and your previously saved devices will appear in this list. Last but not least, Google says that the new battery saver mode of the Pixel Watch 3 is smarter because it will give you longer battery life up to 36 hours without compromising your fitness and safety features. They keep working all the time, even with the battery saver mode activated. So that's everything I wanted to tell you about the Pixel Watch 3, and here's my final conclusion. The new hardware improvements are not massive, but they make a noticeable difference in day-to-day usage only if you need them. Like the higher refresh rate of 60 Hz instead of 30, the brightness that ranges from 1 nit up to 2000 nits, the bigger size, and the ultra-wide support. But as I mentioned before, it still lags behind in the speaker quality and the front glass material. The software features are intentionally exclusive to make the Watch 3 a more pleasing option over the previous model, and I'm expecting to see some of them making their way to the Watch 2 in future updates. So if I were you, I would only upgrade if I need a bigger display and a higher brightness, but other than this, you better stick with the previous model. So that's pretty much it for today. That was my review for the Pixel Watch 3 45mm version. Please let me know in the comments what do you think. But for now, thanks so much for watching and see you in the next video.